This is the first job that I did since I had my wife had my baby boy, and I feel like my career has almost sort of taken a different path since then, and I think a more adult path, and I feel more kind of mature and wise about the world, and if that makes any sense. But I feel like this was sort of my first sort of real opportunity to dig my teeth really, deeply into something that I kind of cared about. I mean, I've cared about everything I've done before, but yeah, this sort of specifically was sort of a world that I almost hadn't explored before, is what I'm trying to say.
Was it part of becoming a dad that changed that?
No, I mean, funnily enough, this sort of came about whilst I was, my wife was pregnant. But like this working with Roger, I think I approached this differently to how I've approached other work, and because it's sort of a thriller and it's sort of mysterious and has its sort of dark gothic undertones. Like for me, that was very different to doing something like Pirates of the Caribbean, for example, as you can imagine. So yeah, I think I just enjoyed exploring a different part of myself and as an actor. And having the opportunity to work with Rachel and with Roger, on a very, very kind of, as I say, gothic story, was just sort of new to me, and yeah, amazing.
Well, a little bit, almost, when you're watching it.
Well, it's like every teenage boy. Like the way that I kind of approached it was sort of trying to remind myself or remember what it was like falling in love for the first time, and sort of really experiencing, women or girls. And it is a scary time for a man. Like you kind of the confusion and the mysterious sort of dazed and confused type moments that you go through, and you don't know whether you're coming or going, or they keep you on your toes, they keep you at a distance, and you just feel so manipulated. So I kind of really enjoyed exploring that as an older man and someone. So it was almost telling the story or approaching a male journey, a man's journey, but like backwards. It's kind of a man becoming a boy as opposed to a boy becoming a man, which is so often seen. So it felt like a very unique arc for me. The fact that it's trending is kind of sad to me, the fact that, because it's obviously been going on for years and years. It's just, I'm not the first person to say that, I as a man am insecure, but like, I'm surprised it sort of had such a kind of, I'm surprised it sort of resonated.
Yeah, from people, yeah.
Well, only because, as I say, women have been going through this for centuries, and men have too, but like, it's often not talked about, which is, not. I think it's interesting that it should be talked about more, obviously, but everyone's living the same life, and everyone has, I'm sure, explored. You only have to read an article every day in the paper to say, oh, he's put on weight, and you kind of, but it's never talked about. So that was merely what I was saying, but yeah.
Rachel and I were talking about the fact that, like in the movie, it's a different time period, and she was a progressive woman, basically for that time, and then she also it's a younger man, older woman, which would have been really taboo then.
Yeah.
She brought out, it still is, in a way.
Yeah. Again, like it's one of those things that so often in films you see a man who's in his 40s dating a 20-year-old, but vice versa. It's like, oh, it's a thriller. it's odd, It doesn't. I don't know why, but yeah.
Was your character, you think, intrigued by her maturity?
I think, the truth is, he's obviously not the only man in the story kind of mystified by her or in awe of her. Like, every man in that town is sort of somewhat spellbound. And, he experiencing women for the first time, of course, his sort of, the magic is sort of heightened for him. But, I think it's because she is different. But for him, she's just the first woman that he's ever, kind of a woman he's experienced. He's obviously got Louise Holiday's character, who he's grown up with, where it's like you're a tomboy, you're a buddy, but to kind of experience a woman, like it's no different to a teenage boy being at high school and being completely enamoured by the teacher, it's which I'm sure every man or every boy, has sort of experienced some way.